What's up, everybody? It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. I have a very good video for you today. We're going to talk about these things, and I'm going to line up the timestamp here for you who don't want to hear about certain subjects. But we're going to talk about the power from within yourself. We're going to talk about a testimonial of a client that I finally finished out. You won't believe how long this took, but when I give you the details, you'll know why it took that long. And we're going to talk about the debt that's released into the market, and we're going to close it out. So here, let's first get started. I want you to know, and I start my videos, I try to include this in as many as possible, is the power from within inside. If you are working with my company, if you're working with anybody, if you're trying to accomplish a goal, the first thing you need to understand is that you have the power. That someone like myself or some other teacher or coach, what we're doing is we're helping you realize. And when you realize that you have that power inside, a lot of things are possible. When I realized that it's not the external, it's not what people believe about you, it's not 100%. I'm not saying you don't need to be educated, but it's not 100% on your education, because people can do things when they put their mind to it. So I've seen people that are educated do less than what people that had less of an education than they did. So you just have to realize that no matter what goals you want to accomplish, no matter what you want to do in life, is that first everything starts with the thoughts in your mind. And the thoughts in your mind are going to trigger subconscious programming that's in your mind, and it's either going to help you along or it's going to bring up doubts. And when you have those doubts, you don't fight through the doubts. I used to think that what you had to do is you had to fight through those doubts. No, you just realize that those doubts are there, and then you continue moving forward. That's how you can break through. And it's, in a way, it's like breaking through in a way where you're not sitting there getting either upset because things are not happening the way you want them to happen, because it's not going to happen the way you might think it'll happen. So when you have the doubts come up, you just acknowledge them, and then you move forward, because you never know what benefit you're going to bring to your community, to the world, to anyone, to an individual. When I look back, like today is an off day. Some of the employees in my office are coming in. They're going to cook. They asked my permission if they can barbecue, and we're going to have our distancing, and we have our mask and everything, so we're not breaking any rules. But when I look back from when my wife and I started our company, our first business in 1990, and it was just to really give ourselves a good job to make money to support our family, to over the years, it's helped us do way more than that. But what I'm focusing on today, as I look down, is that I have 35 full-time employees, and I have, I think my other company hired 4 more people this week. So that's going to be 39 people that, if I didn't make decisions, if I didn't break through the fears, if I was afraid back then, I wouldn't be one of the people that is actually giving people a job, living wage, where they can take care of their family. And at least to me, some people may not think that's big, but at least to me, that's like something that I think it's huge because it's like I feel like it's not just about me making a lot of money, and I'm not gonna hide from it. I want to make a lot of money. I believe I deserve to make and have a lot of money. That's one of my goals. But also, what I've learned while I was making a lot of money was that the more people that I employed, the more people that I helped, actually helped me make more money. And so if you're thinking of starting a business and you're afraid, you don't know if it's going to work or not, just acknowledge that fear, because you don't know, number one, how much it's going to benefit you as you work your way through that fear and achieve something for yourself. And then next, what you could do for people. I mean, just imagine 35 people now, and next week 39 people that I pay checks to, paychecks. This is from a person that, when I started my first business in 1990, my actual paycheck from being a security guard was $364.84 every 2 weeks. That's what I was earning when I started my first business in 1990. That's how much I was earning. So just think of how you have to, the fears you have to overcome to start your own business. And then next, to be able to put yourself into the position over the years and be able to employ people and give them the opportunity to grow. And if you were to talk to any of my employees, I've had way more than this. There's been employees that I've actually told, you should start your own business. You have the mind for it. And as a business owner, I can only pay a person a certain amount. I can't make my employees rich that work for me. Now, my sales people, yes, they get rich because they get paid on commission. But my regular full-time employees, you cannot pay them enough to make them believe that they're rich. So I've counseled them, and I have one that left and started a business. A lot of them that's left and started a business, and I've given them pointers, and they've called me for assistance, or for advice, and I give it to them, and I don't want to hold anyone back, because I believe that what I have is what I bring from me on the inside, and no one can take that from me on the outside. I have to give that away. And if I know that the power is from inside, then the only thing that I could do is give my business away to someone. I even think about the contractors that I do business with. The printing company for one of my companies that has made millions of dollars off of the first business that my wife and I started. It's an advertising magazine. We still print that to this day. This company has made millions of dollars from our efforts, and they've used that money to help their business and all the other suppliers that we buy products and services from. My window cleaner, this black gentleman, has a window cleaning business. He goes through all the businesses, but he comes by here and he just pops in and he says, hey, you need to get those windows clean. And I'm happy to give him that business. And the guy that cuts the grass, give him that business. It circulates money in the community, and it helps everybody. And I'm not just talking about black business. My insurance company is one of them is with a black firm, one of them is with a white firm. I have Mexican vendors that are Hispanic that I do business with. And that's what I'm talking about. Like I can see how when we don't discriminate and we don't do, and I don't want to make this into something like that. This video isn't about that. But when I do business with everybody, let's just lay it down. I don't discriminate. I do business with everybody. And I also look at doing business with people in the community that I serve. So now let's get into this testimonial. And let me just put the timestamp here. This is a big one. This folder here that I'm holding, this folder, huge folder. His name is Mazin. He's going to be making a video testimonial. So he's already given me permission to use his name. We're talking about when he came to me, we're talking about debt. And I have a sample of one of the accounts, the first account that we got pushed into a 1099 debt cancellation for over 30, I think it was $34,000. That's on my website. You can see that. But just to talk about the debts that he had $11,000 with one credit card, had $16,000. These companies, other than the one that we forced quickly into a 1099-C, all of the other ones actually took him to court and sued him, and we had to do a lot of fighting with them because they were trying to do a lot of stuff to take money, to garnish, all types of things, and we put up a huge fight. This actual account, he had over, when I added up, it was over $75,000 in debt, numerous judgments, credit scores in the 500s, went back and forth attempting to settle, not settling, and I won't get into the reasons why we didn't do the settlements, but we fought this account for him tooth and nail, and we were able to get this accomplished for him. And we were able to get it accomplished, and it was very tough. We ended up, check this out, all of the judgments that were placed, we went back and forth so much with the collection agencies that either purchased them or the original credit card companies, went back and forth so hard with asking for documents. And even though he had lost and got judgments against him, we still figured out ways that we could try to put pressure on them to get information, or either going back and forth with negotiations and not coming to resolutions, to where it's like the companies just ended up quitting, and they ended up filing 1099-Cs on all of the debt, on 100% all of the debt. And he didn't care. He didn't care because he is a business owner, so he did not care that they were going to do that. He didn't care that they were going to submit the 1099-Cs and have it as income, because he said that he can deal with that on his own with deductions that he have. But he sent me a text of his credit scores. I'm going to see if I could just pop them up here. He uses all the monitoring systems, but this is what his scores are showing right there. He sent that to me. That was Thursday morning. The final one, we had to make a call to Equifax because for some reason they hadn't refreshed his scores, and he needed to have that score refreshed because he's having some personal issues, husband-wife issues, and something's going on with that, but he needed to do something for his house, and he needed all of his scores up to the 750s. We had got TransUnion, which you just saw, was at 810. His Experian was at I think 807. And then after we finally, because the Experian report just like fought tooth and nail, even though this information was supposed to be removed, we had to fight tooth and nail. And when we looked at the final result, it came through. He had to get his property refinanced for whatever reason. So the big thing is that even though there was like a lot of ups and downs with this folder, with this client, we made it through it. And this is when I say that you never know what the solution is going to be. And I've said that in other videos where every client is going to have a different solution. Yes, the focus is credit repair. Yes, the focus is getting out of debt. But every client is going to have an individual solution that will reveal itself. And if you're trying to repair your credit and getting out of debt right now, focus on the goal. But the how in the middle, that is not up to you. That is not up to me. That's not up to anyone. That's up to just the how the universe wants to allow your solution to show itself. It's not going to be up to you on the way, the how. Don't get stuck on how. You know what you're going to do, but you don't know how each step is going to work out from what you do. So just allow it to happen. And that's what with this folder right here. I mean, there were some times where he had called my customer service staff and he was like, this isn't getting done, that's not getting done. And I would say, it's a process. Look at what you brought us to the table. You brought over $75,000 in debt to the table, and you're not ready to settle this debt. So there's going to be a different solution on your account. And then he would come back and say, well, I do want to settle. And then I don't want to settle. I mean, so numerous times. I'm talking about one of the debt collectors that was coming after him. This company is notorious for digging into people. Notorious. They're a local debt collection attorney. Two of them. Both of them are hard. Like, they come after people hard. And we beat both of them. We beat both of those debt collectors. And like, I mean, this, it's quite an accomplishment. It took a lot. It took years for this file. Most people wouldn't, 99.999% of the people would not have this type of challenge to get their credit repaired and to get out of debt. It would be a lot quicker, but because of the amount, because of some other personal situations that now that I'm learning was going on, it took this client a lot of going back and forth on what we had to do for this folder. And then again, you can see the end result, which is when something that I see with a lot of clients when they get to that goal is that all of the time that it took to get to that goal evaporates, because what happens is you become that person. You're not going to look back at a 650 score. As a matter of fact, when I was talking to him on the phone, and that's why I don't look for the pats on my back. I don't look for the congratulations. I congratulate myself. I congratulate myself for this here. Because when I was on the phone with him, he mentioned a lot of things about, about like, this is done, that's done. I don't know how it got done. I don't know how. And I was thinking to myself while I was talking to him, and you want to know what never came out of his mouth? But I know he was thinking it, and I think that people sometimes think that they said it, but they didn't say it, and that could be because he was actually talking to me. But the words he was using was, I don't know how this happened. I don't know how we did this. I don't know how we did that. I don't know how we did that. And not saying like how my company did it. He was saying it to himself like, I don't know how this got done. I don't know how that got done. What it was he was running through his mind the $75,000 that he doesn't have to pay. And his credit score being in the 800s across the board. That's what he was running through. And I had said to him, you know, my company had a huge part in this. And he was like, oh yeah, of course, I know, of course. Yes, of course. Thank you for everything. And so I was like, okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I don't need to have it where somebody acknowledges, but it does feel good to get that acknowledgement. So let's get into the debt. Let's get into the debt. Let me get my screen over here. I had it ready and open. Big account here, and forgive me for my screen. I got to get this fixed with this glitch here. Huge account. One of these companies, they used to compete against, they're like these big box stores. One of them starts with B and B, so you know who that is. The other one was C and C. The one with C and C went out of business. Well, there's a debt portfolio that's being sold from the accounts with them and some of the other credit card companies, major banks, and a major cell phone provider. $27.6 million. Charge-off date was 2007. Selling the whole account for $6,000. Past statute of limitations for most states, but this account is being sold, or these accounts are being sold, over 23,000 accounts, average balance $1,153, average account, nationwide. Someone is going to buy this debt and they're going to try to collect it, and what they're going to probably say, this is what they're saying now. And someone in one of the YouTube comments, they said it. They said that a debt collector called them, and let me put my timestamp here for when we got into this. A debt collector actually called them and said, we cannot take you to court for this debt. We cannot sue you for this debt. The time period for us to sue you for this debt has passed, but we want to talk to you about collecting this debt. And the person, they knew internally something was wrong. You can't sue me for this debt. So they posted a comment and said, should I pay this debt? No, you shouldn't pay the debt. They're telling you that it's past statute of limitations in a roundabout way. Because legally, and a lot of people don't know this, legally a debt collector, if they're trying to collect a debt that's past the legal statute of limitations for your state, they actually have to inform you of that. But one of the ways that they get around doing that, when they don't call you, when they send the letter, they'll put that information in the letter. Some of them try to be sneaky and not put the information in the letter and just try to send a debt collection letter as though they're trying to collect it for the original creditor. But if they call you, they have to, 1,000%, they have to tell you that they're trying to collect the debt that they cannot sue you on. But they're not saying it's past the legal statute of limitations. So with these accounts, they know that the majority, except for that one state that has a 15-year statute of limitations, these are all past the legal statute of limitations for every state except for one. Let's see here. Now, here goes some payday loans, where the payday loans are starting to, the time frame is starting to shrink. These are from 2017, $209,000, 438 accounts are selling it for $5,000. So on one hand, they're selling $27 million for $6,000. On the other hand, they're selling payday loan accounts, $209,000 in principal and 438 accounts for $5,000. So why do they do that? They do that because they know that these accounts more than likely not past statute of limitations, and that they will be able to probably garnish people's wages for these. This here is how debt collection companies make a lot of their money. Let's go here. Installment loans. Credit card companies. Charge off date 2014, 305,000. Wait, that might have been this. No. Yeah, 305,000. Charge off date 2014. Mixed credit cards 1.1 million. 599 accounts. Charge off date 2011. And then this is a repeat of the NSF non-sufficient fund checks, $720,000. Charge off date 2009, but there's a 2-year statute of limitations on a non-sufficient funds check that you or someone may have written. Another file here. Credit cards, $1.8 million. Charge off date 2011, 1,106 accounts. Another group, 1.1 million. Charge off date 2011. Another credit card portfolio, $1.7 million, 175 accounts. Average balance $9,700. These were probably the bigger major credit card companies. These are going to be some bigger people. Also, the charge-off date is 2006. You got 1 year left for the statute of limitations on the one state, Rhode Island, with the 15-year. So I think that's what we're going to do. That's the debt that's released in the market. Again, just to review, if you get a letter from a debt collector, I don't care who it's from, step number 1, look at your credit reports, find the charge-off date. If you don't have your credit reports, go to the website that I have listed here, the number 3scores.com. Look in the comments section. Look at when that debt was originally charged off. From that date is when the time clock starts on the statute of limitations. If they have not gotten a judgment against you, which any of these would not have gotten a judgment, you simply send them a letter stating that you demanded they cease. You say that according to the laws in your state, the debt that they're attempting to collect is past the legal statute of limitations. You demand that they cease all collection activities, or you will report them to the proper authorities in your state. Proper authorities is the state attorney general's office and or whoever licensed debt collectors or banking in your state. In my state of Wisconsin, it's Department of Financial Institutions. All debt collectors must be registered with them. That'll make the debt go away. You need to save the letter, file it, because they're going to resell it to another debt collector. This is how you'll end up getting money if you want to take them to court, because when they sell it to another debt collector, you'll use that letter that you had from the other one that ceased it, resold it, and you can get the portfolio company that sold it to them to end up paying you money for them doing that. The portfolio companies, what they do is if a debt collector finds a debt that they can't collect, the portfolio companies have a rule where they will buy that particular debt for whatever amount of money they paid for it. And then what they do is they just throw them into other accounts. If you need help with your credit, please visit the website, thecreditrepairshop.com. We will work hard to repair your credit. No, it's not going to be overnight. It's a process. There's going to be ups and downs, just like I mentioned with Mazen, but it will get done. If you allow it to get done, allow the back and forth that happens, stay patient, be there when we need you. We're here when you need us. It will get done over a period of time. Depending on your file is how long that period of time would be. If you, let's see here, Santander, I'll close out with something on that. If you need a demand letter, we send out the demand letters on Santander from the attorney. We also have a do-it-yourself demand letter. Those are going out. Have not heard back from them. It's going to be a process with that also. But we're doing the work. We're doing our part, and then they're going to do have their responses. So we're waiting on that. I want to tell everybody, have a happy 4th of July. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. And until next time, this is Stephen Williams, founder and president of the CreditRepairShop.com. Thank you.